Charlotte with Share with Charlotte podcast, where emphasis is placed on finding balance in relationship. I am the creator and host, and I want to welcome you again to another episode and thank you for joining in to listen. But before I reflect, before I move forward, let me just reflect back on just a little bit about the last episode I did was finding harmony through your journey, where I was privileged enough to really have a conversation with my son, who has an amazing journey, but it was his finding harmony through his journey that was shared that I believe is worthy of you listening, whether you're watching on video or just audio, and really just be encouraged and inspired by his story and just where he is in life. And I'm just truly thankful as a mother for what that is and where he is. So thank you. And now let's move into the new episode. With this one particular one is entitled, Did You Think You Were Marrying One? And in this one, I want to emphasize the fact that a lot of us who are married or have been married really believe that when you was marrying that particular person that was standing at the altar, wherever you guys were standing, whether, a courthouse or a lawn or wherever the location was. But it was the two of you. And you look at each other and you got all the dreamy eyes and stars in your eyes, and you anticipating this beautiful future ahead, and you're so in love and everything is great. And, and you, like many, believe that you're marrying the one. And I want to share with you today in this particular episode, and that is, you are not just marrying the one. You marry many and you marry much. And the reason I say that is because when you marry one, that one person that's standing there, you marry everything that's attached to you, whether it be people, whether it be baggage, whether it be the children, whether it be the finance, whether it be the debt, whatever it is, you're marrying all of that. You married all the in-laws, everybody they attached to, his friends, you're picking up everything in this one individual. So as you look and all these stars in your eyes and it's your beautiful day, you're dressed to your best, whether you're the spouse, not the spouse, whether you're the groom or whether you're the bride, but it's your day. It's your day. But what you have to understand is you're marrying everything that's attached to that individual. And I do mean everything. When I married my husband, or when I remarried my husband, and just to give you a little bit history, we married in 1981. And that particular marriage, it only lasted 6 years. And we divorced. 29 years later, in this wide space of 29 years, well, the time that God was working in his life and working in mine, and reinventing something a lot better in us than what we had before. And as God was working on us to improve, he was also preparing us for what was coming down 29 years later, and that was us to rejoin. And so we remarried in 29 years later. But as we stood before our family and friends, to marry, you married still everything that comes with that individual. I married everything that came with him. He married everything that came with me. But we already had together our 3 sons. And so with that being said, I didn't know that there was a lot of debt that was attached to him. I didn't know. But when I did find out, was after we was married. But the thing is, it was no longer his debt. It was also my debt. It was also my debt, just like it was his debt. Because I made the commitment in the marriage to be with this man, to actually dedicate my life with him and for him, to take this walk together through life, this journey as one. And so whatever he brought in, whether I knew it or not, it still belonged to me, just like it belonged to him. It was now mine. I take ownership. like he took ownership. I couldn't say it's just yours, you figure it out. No, it's now ours and how we can figure it out. Because what you marry isn't just, you don't marry one, you marry everything. And but the big thing that I want to talk about today, the most significant thing that I want to talk about are the in-laws. You marry his family. So you don't just marry one. You marry all the people that he's connected to, and you marry the in-laws. But what motivated me about this episode is that I attended a family reunion. It's the Third Kill family reunion. It was held in New Orleans this past weekend. And as I was just looking around, looking at all the, you know, people that was married and their spouses there, and I was there, and how I was just embraced, and the word family kept repeating. Felt like family, they are my family. And it just really made me appreciate where I was even more. Not that I haven't, but I really appreciate even more that I had inherited such a beautiful family that accepted me, loved me, and appreciated me, and vice versa. So it's not a one-way thing, it's and vice versa. But I know everybody don't have that relationship with in-laws. And then I was thinking about how awesome it must have made my husband feel to see me interact, and the hugs, and how we embraced each other, and the laughs and the jokes, and because this was first his family, and now it's also my family. But I know it had to be a sense of pride, and just warm, just where your heart just melts, because you don't know when you marry a lot of time where the breakdown is going to be. Even if you started out well, you don't know if it's going to end well. But it's just like when he crossed over to my family, which I'm going to have a reunion. Well, it's called a family gathering, where we would have probably about 150 people of my family that was mine before it became his. And I'm going to be the one standing back to watch, how they love on him and he love on them, and how they hug, and the ladder and the chatter, and all these feel good moments as I watch. And I'm going to feel good about what that looked like and what it sounds like to me. I'm going to feel good about that. But you marry the family. You marry them because they're now your family. And if that's not embraced, then you may be one of those people who decide that I don't go to his family events. Or you may be one who says, you know, they don't like me and I don't like them. Or you may be one who have no connection with them whatsoever because of maybe they don't sound like you or speak like you. Or maybe they're not in the same status as you. Or you may be somebody who just, they're not relatable. You just don't feel like you want to be a part of that, but they're his family. I don't mind him going to those events, but I don't have to go to those events, and I don't go to those events. And as I was reading, because I was thinking about how that must affect the person the one who wished their spouse would embrace and love on their family. Because you have to understand too, these people, your spouse, that's their family, that's blood. And so if you want a healthy marriage, and if you want it to be full, then it's all about too how you accept that other person's family. Because that is really truly also how your family is strengthened. Because in unity, when people are united, it only strengthens the foundation in which your marriage is built on. But when you're not united, then things are unraveled. They're not connected, they're not cohesive. then there's a lot of holes and pockets that weakens your marriage or your relationship. But I truly felt good. I just felt the love. But you know, you got to give love also to receive love. But I just felt good about the love that was shown. And I also felt good about the love I was given because I know the importance of my husband's family to him. He loves, and I do mean with all caps, he loves his family. So what if I was that wife who didn't embrace that love with him? And it was only the love he had, but I had no desire to be a part of that. How it must make him feel when I wasn't willing to even compromise or sacrifice to give him that, if nothing but that one day. Or in this case, it was 3. It was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But the marriage is not just built on one. The marriage is built on everything that's attached to him or to her. So if it's important, it's just what it is. It's important. But when I was looking and researching, what strengthens a marriage, what makes it healthy, and you can also, just relate this to also just relationship in general. There were some things that was pointed out that I wanted to share with you. And then I want to share something else with you. These are the things that I found through my research as they was, sharing all these different, what makes a marriage, a relationship healthy. And there were several things actually. So I'm just going to run this down real quick from the list. It says, if you're able to forgive quickly, forgiveness, communication, trust, affection, compromise, intimate relationship, the commitment, emotional intelligence, conflict resolutions, empathy, appreciation, encourage each other, humor, love. If you could be best friend first, acceptance, add romance, agree sometimes to disagree, appreciate your partner, be a good listener, be friends and lovers, and respect each other. And I'm talking about, I looked at several things and there was a lot of the same similarities. But you know what I didn't find? I'm waiting for something like break it down, about the fact that you're marrying, that's everything that's connected to the person. And that you are now part of what that is, that person is connected to. If in fact you marry somebody or you're in a relationship with someone, and whether they using drugs, they're alcoholic, if there's someone who's an abuser, if there's someone with a gambling problem, if they have tons of debt, if they're a womanizer, if there's someone who have no respect for women, or even if it's someone who have no love for their own family, somebody, just the baggage, if it's just baggage. But if it's someone who's financially secure, they're loving, they're kind, they're one of service, they're one who showers you, shows if it's about the gifts, if it's someone who just about love, who just love on you, the coin can be flipped either side. But regardless of what it is, that's what you marry. All the stuff and all the people. But what you see on that date is that person, that one. But that one got a whole lot of stuff that comes with it. And then you look around if they're there, and it's their families, their friends who come to wish you guys the best. You connected to every one of them. So it's more than just, do you think you marrying one? And I'm telling you, no, you're not just marrying one. You're marrying everything. Everything. The good, the bad, and the indifferent. You're marrying it all. And so for me, to be a part of his family, which is now my family, and has been for the past 8 years, my family, just gave me so much hope. Because we all know that anytime you're in a relationship, a marriage, or whatever it is, there's work. It doesn't just come easy, but you put work into it. But surely, moments like what I had this past weekend with this family only strengthen the hope, foundation, the possibility, or in this case, the probability that this is going to last. It didn't last the first time because it only made it 6 years. But of how things are lining up, that I'm more committed to him first to God, then to him. But I'm also committed to all the family members who also love me and have embraced me. So that just makes it even stronger. And I bond even tighter. And my commitment even stronger. My dedication even stronger. Because not only do I love my husband, not only do I love God, I commit to him, but I also love his family. But it is important because I know to marry, to be in a relationship, your commitment to what that is comes with sacrifice. There are going to be times there's not a lot of everything is feel good moments. There are going to be times when you don't even want to do it, but you do it anyway. But it's the love with the commitment and the sacrifice. When those three work together, you'll make better choices as to how you want to make sure your partner, your spouse, that you're showing that love to them, that you're willing still to give up a part of you to make sure that they're good, that moment for them is special, that you're doing your part, not sitting on the sideline, not waiting till they come home. I'm here when you come back, but being out there with them on the field, being active, being a part of it, creating those memories so you both of you can come back and talk about and reflect on. Not leave him to be standalone spouse where he has to again go into those situations or events and still finding an apology for why you're not there. Or to be even to the level sometimes where you're being embarrassed because you're never there. And then to look around and see other spouses with family who came for support, who came because I too have embraced this family. And then to have your spouse to go alone and you're not even there. So those memories don't even include you with his own family. And you gotta understand, that family existed long before you did. And when you have someone who loves their family, that's a beautiful thing. Because they mean they have the capability to love. Than to have someone who despises their family. And that's another kind of baggage that brings into the relationship and the marriage. But if you have somebody who loves their family, that's a gift. It's a gift. because they're so capable of just loving. And you get a chance to watch that and see that. They're supportive. So that means they're more capable also of loving you. So I'm just going to say for this message, open your heart, open your mind, embrace the fact that his family or her family is now your family. Don't be on the sideline always. I'm not saying you have to go to every event or do everything, but some people do absolutely nothing. And that got to be sad for the other person. But it made me just realize how fortunate and how blessed I am to be a part of something so beautiful. And that is for me to love the people he loves and to embrace that with him. But for anybody listening who truly don't know how important that is, I'm telling you, it's extremely important. Not only just for that person, but it's important for the relationship. Because the more you unite, it's the tighter that you're woven together. And let me say that again. The more you unite, or the more you're in unity, or unified, the more you are woven together, the more you are connected together, the more you are strengthened together. And I just want to encourage you to just be better, do better than what that is, or what you're doing if you're not doing it. Small steps is better than no steps. Even if you go to one function a year, do something. Even if it's one. Because next time, if you enjoy that one, you just may make it two. But it really, truly is vital that you be one of acceptance, to know that it's no longer their family, but it's also your family. Did you think you were marrying one? The answer again is you are not marrying one. You're marrying everything that comes with that one. Everything and everybody that comes with that one. So when you stand there, if you haven't already stood, just know you have one body in front of you that holds a lot of other components to what that one body is. A lot. So be ready to dive in, dissect, deal with it, heal with it. You know, whatever it is for you to get and be a part of what it is, because it's now yours. Whatever it is, it's now yours. And I just thank God that I was able, and I'm just going to share this with my husband, with things that was going on with him with his debt. That's off the table. Why? Because I also owned it. If I was still waiting on him to take care of it, it'd probably still be on the table. But because I owned it, we created a plan of action because I owned it. So now it was ours. It's us. It's we. And we were able to eliminate every dollar, every dime, every nickel, and every penny. Because we did that. Of course, with always the help of God. Because he had to open all those doors and opportunities for us to do that. But together we did that. Because I didn't go in with this attitude of I, me, and it's you. I didn't do that. And I would not encourage you to do that. That is not a way you want to walk into a marriage or a relationship. You have to own and take ownership of what that is. And people, because my podcast is about finding balance in relationships, I'm so big on relationships. I'm so big on how we unite. I'm so big on how we love. But I'm so big, again, on relationships. But that first relationship is always with yourself. And you cannot even be your best self if you're not giving your best self. You cannot. You cannot give your best self if you cannot be your best self. And I'm always striving for that. So I hope you can be encouraged by this message. I was just inspired from what I saw, being a part of the Third Kill family reunion that just touched my heart to where I just felt I need to speak on it because I know there's so many people who just don't have that. And I know there's the other person wish they had that with the person that they chose as their mate, their spouse. Because it really is a beautiful thing to have. So I want you to be encouraged. I hope this has been something that that you would take to heart, that you would just make the effort. Just make the effort. One step, one event, one outing, one something. Just one. Surprise your spouse. Surprise him. When you say, yes, I'll go. Surprise him. One. So I thank you for listening to this particular episode, which is called Did You Think You Were Marrying One? And I want you to, well, I'd like to invite you to join my community of listeners by subscribing and following Share with Charlotte. Thank you again. And I look forward to the next episode where I hope we can connect and you can also be inspired. Thank you.